I think we learned as well this week that you don't like getting a knee on the ankle when you're being in turtle, do we?
I know, yeah. Oh, that. Okay, that was like a. It's not even submission, but the way Steve done it, I thought I was just gonna run away home.
you nearly teleported.
It looked like it from my face. Yeah.
I think that was the only time you didn't laugh while doing Jiu Jitsu.
I know, yeah. I was holding in. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone back to the Bad Jiu Jitsu podcast.
Yes, welcome.
We are on the second episode. The first episode seemed to go down pretty well. Had good feedback from it. Yeah. Some people were saying it was funny. You definitely have a fan club of, you know, you are a funny guy.
Don't worry, we'll try to ruin the second one.
It's all down here from here. We peaked in our first episode.
There you go.
we are done now.
It's more like a drilling. You drill it.
It doesn't help that we have Joe Rogan stealing our thunder. He's just released a podcast with Donald Trump in, so we're definitely not going to be on any popularity list over the next few weeks, are we?
Yeah, I've not seen that one. Have you seen it?
I started listening to it, but it's, you know, try and stay away from the topic of politics because, you know, some people don't really like it.
His podcast, it's over 2 hours usually.
I think it's a 3-hour chat that we had, and it's like last week I was saying, will we be able to get 20 minutes? We had 45 minutes. Imagine a 3-hour freedom to do that, but no one really wants to listen to us chat for 3 hours, I don't think.
Well.
Yeah, no one is that crazy. But yeah, it's first one went down well.
Yeah.
I've been a bit over hyperactive on the meme side of things on the Instagram page, which is, you know, pretty much taken over my life. But I'm just enjoying it. It's been a good reason to watch a lot of 80s films, though. I've really...
You had shitloads of times, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm off work. I'm just really binge watching 80s films to try and find weird clips to make memes out of. But so we'll get onto the topics that I've got planned. So the first, so discussion point for this week: the differences between gi and no gi and what we think of them.
Right. Okay.
So I'm dive into it. I prefer gi massively. I'm a older, bigger, slower guy, and I just love the fact that gi can slow the game down for me, so I can do my little technical, weird little things, and I just love the amount of control that I can get in gi. Yeah, I love no gi. I love Jiu Jitsu, top and bottom, but gi just seems to be where my sweet spot is. So
it's more controlled.
Yeah.
You literally can control the pace, even if the person, like, if you roll the person and he's very fast, and you like do your slow jitsu, like a sloth jitsu.
Sloth jitsu.
Yeah, sloth jitsu. You can grab him and hold him.
Yeah.
To calm him down, literally.
I really do hold on to people like a possessive girlfriend. So it's like, but yeah, it's just grip hold of them, and then you can start to control. And the options for grips is massive, whether it's down the sleeve, the lapel, or collars.
To be honest, when rolling with you, I feel a lot safer when I'm in no gi. Because each time we roll in gi, you grab the collar tie and that's it. My neck goes.
It's something that I picked up quite early on, where if you get that collar grip and you can push that fist into a neck, you're just making someone uncomfortable from the start. And if they're uncomfortable, that's where their brain's not going to be 100% on thinking, how do I get past you?
Yeah.
Especially at the levels that we roll at our lower levels that we, like, you know, we're tending to stick within our little white belt group to avoid getting smashed as much. It works there. It has diminishing returns as I go up the grades.
You literally get your neck fisted.
Yeah. I tried that on Steve, the black belt, our coach, and I'm just getting my arm twisted, and it's an arm lock because if I don't let go of the collar quick enough. So, but at the white belt, blue belt levels, it works. When I'm rolling against purple belts, it gives me that extra split second to be able to react. They're still going to get me. They're fucking purple belts and I'm a white belt. But it gives me that extra second to maybe work on my guard retention, change my position, shrimp out. It's just a nice little advantage. I think I have especially in the past few months, relied on it too much. And that's why I've been trying to go for different grips, not just work that one grip that seems to be work. If it works, great. I know it works. I should move on now. Yeah. Find out something else. So I've been trying some different weird things. So going for belt grips is a weird one. So from the front, I'll either get a belt and sleeve instead of the collar sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's controlling the hips rather than the head. And it allows me to get under someone a lot quicker.
Oh, right, yeah.
And because I like the half guard game and I like trying to work into a deep half guard. And if I can get under them quicker, that's where I'm going to start getting comfortable.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, because I can get my sweeps from there. My half guard, I like my half guard game. You get that.
What about no gi? Because you talking about gi.
Oh, I love no gi, but I do love gi more. No gi is great. It's more athletic. There's the ability for...
It's cardio based.
Yeah, you're quick. You can't slow the game down as much. There are grips still. When people say there's no grips in no gi, they're not really understanding the biomechanics of it. There's grips everywhere, and usually they're around joints. Because what you'll find is on a limb, the joints flare. The bones flare at the joint, and that's where you're going to find your grips. So on the tricep, if you run your hands down, pinching down a tricep, you'll find there's a grip on the elbow where the humerus and the radius bone expand for the elbow joint, and there's a grip there that you can use. And that's a great one for using for arm drags and just controlling the arm in general. You always have the wrist because the wrist expands into the hand, and you'll have the similar aspects on the knees and on the ankles where there are grips there. And you'll also find a great one is the chin strap.
The way I imagine no gi in the beginning, like first maybe from 1, 2, 3 rounds, you can still grip it anyway. Where 4th and 5th round and going further, it's like especially it depends on the person. Some people you're rolling like the eel. It's like literally anywhere you grab it, it just slips out.
There are some very sweaty people out there, isn't there?
Yeah. Even let's say there are some people when you roll and they get on your mount and they like drip on you, and they're like, really?
Yeah, drip jitsu is a game as well. But yeah, Andy's the worst for that. He's only just came back this past week, hasn't he?
I know, yeah.
And honestly, there is no one sweatier than him. I've suffered from the sweat this week from him. I've not been rolling. I've just been on the sidelines, but he comes over and just shakes my hand, and I'm covered in sweat. I don't know what it is. He just touches my hand, but my entire body's covered in his sweat. He sweats that much.
Yeah, and when you're rolling with him, feels like he's got like a shower cap above his head, like, and water is pouring down.
Yeah, you will drown. You're being waterboarded. He's like, you'd send him to Guantanamo Bay and he'll be able to torture the prisoners there. But
even for example, when you do drilling, and he goes on the top, it just practicing move. It's like dripping on you, like, dude.
Honestly, it's his secret weapon. Yeah. It's like, I might have autism, but he's got sweat. So, but yeah, I think even when you're sweaty though, there are still the grips. The joint grips do work to a certain extent. It's more based on your ability to grip. Your grip strength. What
I've noticed, when in no-gi, you need to set it up better.
Yeah.
Because basically you can't just, let's say why I like gi. It's like, even if I don't set it up correctly, I can use my strength and pull it in. You know, like grab it, pull it, push it. There I got more in control.
Yeah.
When in no gi, if I don't do it like fully, or if I don't like lock it properly, they'll just slip out.
Yeah. It's that old discussion that they've had for a while. It's where people say gi is more technical than no gi, and it's not. The technicalities are different. So in gi, what I found is the technicality is the options. You have a lot more options with your grips, the ability to slow down. You can get a Kimura by not even gripping the arm. You can grip the sleeve.
Yeah.
And you can still get a Kimura. And there's so many options, but it's a more forgiving because the options can all lead to something. Can lead to something. And the technical knowledge that you need is what will this option lead to? And that's the technicality of gi. But in no gi, the technicality is the precision. I find you got
to be more precise.
Yeah, if you're going for an armbar, for example, and the person's a little bit sweaty, everything's a bit more lubricated, shall we say, you're gonna have to make sure that you've got that control. Really got that control. Really got your grips. You've got control of their shoulder with your legs. You've got the position with your hip underneath their elbow, and you've got control of that wrist. And you need to make sure you've got it if you're getting an armbar in no gi, especially if there's any sweat involved. But you need to be precise. Gi is a lot more forgiving for positioning.
Yeah.
Whereas no gi isn't.
Oh, I was thinking, like you mentioned, lubricating, like you become like extra slippery.
Yeah.
Does that allowed in competition?
No, well,
because I mean, when
you're sweating competition.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. It's like when let's say I go to competition.
Yeah.
I warm up so much I can literally add on maybe like a lubricant odorless, and I'll be super slippery, and they're gonna think I'm just sweaty.
Greasing is not allowed. There's actual term. There's a whole thing about it about a year and a half ago where there was a match against Nicky Rod and Gordon Ryan.
Right.
And Gordon Ryan accused Nicky Rod of greasing.
Really?
Yeah. And the process apparently is, what you do is you get warm, so you warm yourself up, you dry off, you rub over yourself with something like baby oil.
Right.
And then you let yourself come cool again. So what you're doing is the pores of your skin are open because you're warm, you put the oil on, the pores then hold the oil as you cool down, and then when you're in the match, you warm up again, and the oil comes out on your skin. It's not illegal. It's one of them things where a lot of referees now for certain competitions will give you a quick touch check just to make sure that you're not greased up.
But there's a way to do it.
There is a way to do it, but it gets slippy anyway. And
it does.
And a lot of competitions now, if they're not doing the touch test by the referee, what they'll do is they'll say you have to wear a long sleeve rash guard, and that way. It doesn't matter. You've got to get slippy anyway. It's no gi. Even a rash guard gets slippy when you're sweaty enough.
Yeah. So when you wear a rash guard, do you prefer short sleeves or long sleeves?
It depends how I'm doing at the gym at the time. If I'm really working my arms and I've got the proper gun show going off, I'll go short sleeve. But it's purely aesthetic, showing off type of thing.
If it's on leg days, you come in long sleeves.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If I've not got a pump going on, I'm going in long sleeves.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, it depends. It's how I'm feeling at the time. If I'm feeling very aggressive, I generally go for a short sleeve for some reason. I just feel that I get a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm covered so much. I don't feel like something's holding onto my arms. I feel like I've got that aggressiveness with it, and I think it's just mindset when what you're wanting to wear.
For me, long sleeves I prefer more because I get bruised less. It's like short sleeve, see?
Yeah, you get scratches and
and
that's the whole point of a rash guard. It's to protect your skin from all the crap that happens out there, and
especially when you wear gi.
Yeah.
I like under gi wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
Because I don't get that much bruise because it's not from the person, it's more from a gi you get bruised.
Yeah, when it pinches you.
Yeah. And I've noticed what some guys do. They don't wear rash guard underneath.
No.
I tried once and I was aching when I went to shower. You don't feel it, but once you turn the shower, you like jump out from there.
I've done it a couple of times in the summer when it was really hot, and I ended up getting gi burn on me from the inside of the gi. And it's like, I'm not down for that. It's just something to be avoided. On the other hand, though, my other half, my missus, she prefers no gi.
No gi?
She doesn't roll. She prefers me to do no gi just because there's less laundry.
Oh right, well,
when it comes to gi, the gi's proper takes up the washing machine, but it has been a positive that I've learned how to use the washing machine.
Well, to be honest, I've been told I might need to get another the washing machine.
Just the Jiu Jitsu washing machine.
Yeah, just the Jiu Jitsu washing machine, because apparently I do. If I let's say go 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I do 5 times a week laundry, plus I do work clothing and whatever I use it at home. So literally all 7 days you do laundry. And my missus started getting angry on me because she's like, when it's my turn, you're doing only 7 days a week.
She can wear the same thing all week. It's fine. She's not going to get ringworm or staph from wearing the same clothes at work, is she? So she can wear the same.
So it's like this week I saved a bit more, did less laundry. So So now I've done like 4 loads and I've got 2 more to go.
But she's not in the house, so you can do it while she's not here. So.
That's what I'm doing. Because she would see the amount I've done laundry now, she would go bananas on me.
You have filled up the washing line, yeah, but it's learning to use the washing machine properly is probably the biggest advantage at home for jiu-jitsu. Other than,
Well, what she taught me, that vinegar removes all the bad smell from it. Yeah. Because before I didn't use it, and it was like still a bit smelly.
Yeah, I always make sure that I've always got that extra antibacterial stuff in my washing machine when I'm doing my jiu-jitsu gear. It's like you just need to make sure you can stop whatever baddies are happening.
You wash it on 60, then it's like kills everything.
You got to be careful with the heat on your gi, haven't you?
To be honest, all my gi is bigger than me, so I'm alright.
Yeah, you're trying to shrink them down. It's like, I'm like at the upper end for
one of the gi I'm washing extra more, and I'm trying to make it to look like Jaden's gi. I don't know where he got his gi. Yeah. I'll need to ask him, but because
I know where he got his gi from. He got his gi from Progress JJ.
Right, because it's like super.
Yeah, he got the slim fit gi.
Yeah,
and it's cheating because I can't go full of lapel chokes as easy.
You can't grip it anywhere, and it feels like when he's in a gi, you're still rolling with him like he would be in no gi.
Yeah,
it's like exactly the same because you can't grip gi anywhere.
Yeah. I've been trying to work lapels with him when I've
it doesn't work,
and he can't get them over his shoulder, he can't get them over his head. It's like, this is a tight gi and you're a skinny guy and it's not fair. You're cheating at jiu-jitsu. It's like the anti-greasing. But yeah, that's Progress Jiu-Jitsu. They're a Manchester-based company.
Oh right.
So
are they Manchester-based?
Yeah, down near Finger, the Imperial War Museum in Trafford.
Oh right, cool.
Yeah.
So they have like a big shop.
No, they've got a warehouse, but they've got the website as well. So,
all right.
But my favourite gis from there, my green gi.
Yeah.
That's the Mark 5 gi, which I think so.
I've got all tatamis because in Facebook Marketplace I buy them cheap.
Yeah. Well, you still want to get your red gi as well, don't you? So.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, it's a Hyperfly.
Yeah. The Hyperflies are good. The lightweight one that I've got is, I'm not usually a fan of the lightweight gis.
You see, lightweight, I wanted to have it. It's because when we'll start more traveling, let's say visiting, it doesn't take that much space.
No.
Which is a lot better.
Yeah, it's a handy thing. But the lightweight gis, I'm not a fan of them normally because they're not textured. It's just usually a canvas. But the Hyperfly one has this texture, it's like a fake pearl weave, which allows you to at least have a bit more grip, which you should be having in a gi.
Oh, plus I'm still chasing to find the tatami tank.
Yeah, the 950 GSM.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that will break people's fingers when you try to
literally.
But yeah, it's a tough gi. So do you prefer gi or no gi?
Gi. I prefer gi. I feel more safer, more in control.
Yeah.
And plus, what I started using lapels.
Yeah.
I'm using more lapels. It's like if I wrap around the person, I can even if it's like stronger or anything, I can pull it in and just hold it. It feels a lot.
You mentioned it last episode with the Gubba Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're using it there, and I think it's definitely a mindset thing. The younger guys seem to prefer the no gi. The competition scene is predominantly no gi, but I think if you're a bit of a nerd and you like the technicality aspect of it.
It's like on Thursday, before coming to roll, I watched the choke called helicopter choke, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
So when I rolled with Andy, and we were in the gi, I tried something similar. I grabbed his lapel, went around the neck, and instead of when you do helicopter, you spin around.
Yeah.
I just roll around him.
Yeah, and you got the armbar from that, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. Me and Steve were stood there kind of heckling you as you were doing it. But yeah, I think it's just a weird mindset. It's like, if you are competition minded, no gi is what you should roll. When people say, it's like, if you're doing competitions, roll gi and no gi, it's great. You should train for what you're performing at.
Well, I mean, if you're competing in no gi, what's the point training in a gi for you, literally?
A lot of people say that you should train in both if you do competitions in no gi, but my viewpoint is, if you're competing in no-gi, you should train in no-gi. And I think what people are using it as, they're misunderstanding the mat time. Time on the mat is what matters for training. And maybe what the use of the gi is sort of as a break from the intensity of no-gi. So when people say you should train gi and no-gi, it's a shortcut just to get mat time.
Right.
And that's what I think it might be, because there's no point training for a no-gi competition in gi, really, because you're not going to really be training what you're going to be performing.
Yeah.
But if you're training no-gi a lot, it's quite intense, and it's usually high intense. It's very high intensity, and if you can't do the control of the training room, where sometimes you're having a slower round, taking it easier a bit, you can just burn out. So they're using the mix of the gi and the no-gi for no-gi competitors might just be that shortcut to ensure that they're having low intensity rounds within the gi, because it's just slowing them down a bit.
That's true. Oh, I found a couple of days ago. I found third one for Jiu Jitsu. It's like you have gi, then you have no gi, and the third one is they use normal clothing. Like shirts, you know, like even I've seen the guys, what they do, they come in rolling with the suits, they just remove the jacket off, and they just like you can use it like a gi.
So some gyms do that. They do like street jitsu.
Street jitsu.
And they'll come in a pair of tracksuits and a t-shirt or a hoodie, and it's just that idea of how you're applying the martial art and the self-defense aspect into real life.
And I thought that's kind of looked cool. Should try one day.
It's that thing. It's like, that's what open mats are for. if you've got a training partner that's willing to do weird stuff, just like open mat, turn up in your hoodie and your jeans, and you know, as long as you, the person whose gym it is, whose training room it is happy with you to be on the mats with your jeans and hoodie on, because you know, jeans come with the little rivets in which might damage the mats. If they're perfectly fine with that, you know, you go for it. Or you just get your own mats in your back garden and you just do it there.
To be honest, I have a block mat, mats, but they are like slightly thinner, and so it's gonna be summer. We can do it. So I was planning, we should, cause I can build like a small, like let's say this room, something like that. Maybe like
4x4 meters or something.
Something like that. I can build it. And when you go camping, we can do that.
We'll just randomly go camping and start rolling around everywhere. That's not going to appear suspicious when people start driving past or walk past. It's like, what are them two guys doing there?
To be honest, I was practicing for my competition. 2 weeks before that, we went camping. I took my yoga mat and I was like stretching, doing, and everyone was looking at me like, what the hell is doing that?
Most people when they go on holiday, like camping, glamping in the UK, they're just drinking beer and having barbecues.
And my missus is like, I'll just go in a tent, nobody sees me.
And you're treating it like a meditation retreat. It's like, you fucking hippie. So this week at our gym, we've had a nice mix of tech. So I think on Monday there was the reverse De La Riva.
Oh, I don't know what the names.
It's where you had the grip on the ankle, and the leg was wrapped around.
Yes, and then you sit down, like push it down.
And it was the two things for it was that control of how to control the distance. By using the pressure with your thigh and pushing them away slightly so you can.
And then with the knee you can drop the person down.
And then that was it. When if they try to fight that pressure by rotating their knee, how you can then use your knee to pressure them down for a sweep.
One thing what I've noticed, everything, let's say what Steve or Ty show us, I don't even know the names. So for example, that's why when I put on.
That's why you got me.
I'll need to start asking you, because each time I put a video, I don't know what we did, and it's like it takes me a while to Google it to find out what we really did, like find something similar.
But it was reverse De La Riva. It's nice little Del heave is usually a slight control during a positional change. It's not really a guard per se, but it's a good way to do it. So I think the two moves from that. So you had the control in the distance, you had the wrestle up option, which was a good one, where just switch your legs and wrestle up on the person. You basically create your distance, wrestle up, take them down with a single leg, and then you had the second one, which was they changed the angle to try and take away the pressure from you wanting to get the distance, rotate their knee, and then you use your knee. Similar to a waiter sweep type thing, where you push them down, and then you're either in side control or half guard, depending on how lazy your back leg is. So
even though like when we had one, maybe this week or last week, where he was showing when from a guard you grab a head and just control it, and then you can swing it around to take it back.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to name it. So basically, what I put on the video, I put it a lesson how to control head.
After last week's 6 months of experimentation, a video on how to control head. Really have to avoid that topic.
I mean, because I looked like a million times into that drill, how he explained how to do it. And the only way I came up like how to name it is like the way how to
the naming of things aren't important unless you like to categorize things. I love to categorize things. I love to make sure I know where things sit within a certain system, and that's why I can work from it, and just that's how my head works. For some people, they never need to learn the names of it.
Yeah.
Jiu Jitsu is a movement based martial art.
Yeah.
And as long as you can show it by example, that's all that really matters. You don't need to know the fancy name of it. You don't need to know the Japanese name of it. It's fun to show off with things like that.
Come on, I don't remember the names in English. Well, I'm not gonna learn in Japanese.
You could just make them up in Lithuanian.
I think that's even harder language for me.
You've been in the UK too long now.
Just 20 years.
Yeah, just 20 years. Just over half your life. You actually spent more time here than you have in Lithuania. But it's categorizing the names, not a big deal. It's only if you need to reference it. If you like a position and you want to learn how to work more from it, that's the only reason that you should really know the name, especially at our level, because it's then you can actually go, oh, I know what I'm looking for, I know where to go, and you can then. It makes it easier to.
That's how I usually choose all the submissions and all the techniques what we do.
Yeah.
So for example, if they show us like one technique how to do it, we drill it, and when it comes to rolling, I try to see if it works for me.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I just let it go.
It's a difficult one. I think is the challenge that a coach has when they have a mixed room like ours.
Yeah.
Is they have to make the technique relevant for everyone to a certain level, and being a good white belt, blue belt, purple belt, lower to mid-level person is finding what the lesson is for you.
Yeah.
So if you've just started jiu-jitsu and you're a month or two in and you're being shown a move, it's like you're not expected to learn that move precisely. Your lesson might be just moving your hip out for the beginning of the entire sequence that you're being taught. Just how to move your hip. And being a good student is knowing what your lesson is.
Well, to be honest, the biggest lesson on jiu-jitsu when you're starting from 6 months to 1 year, maybe even longer, is surviving.
Yeah. Well, that's what traditionally they say the white belt's for. It's just to learn how to survive.
Yeah. And if you survive and don't run away.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
slowly start to understand what you're doing.
Yeah. It's one of the things where you just survive, but knowing what your lesson should be, especially as a white belt, is going to offer bigger gains. Jiu-jitsu is cyclic. There's X amount of positions. There's X amount of options. There's slight variety with the angles and issues, just the tweaks here and there, the detail, but the general lessons will always be cyclic. You'll look at maybe a gym potentially having a 3-year cycle where in 3 years they'll come back to something, And when they've come back to it, you've now developed all this experience that in the first time you did it, you learn the first third of it.
Yeah.
The next time it comes, you might now learn the next third or even the other 2/3, especially if it's in your game.
It's usually like a tiny bit details that matter.
Yeah.
And if you like
the devil is in the detail.
Yeah, especially if you try to skip them, you get screwed.
Yeah, and it's weird little details that you don't think, but it all falls within a framework of concepts.
Yeah.
For jiu-jitsu, but that's a discussion for another time because you can go down the rabbit hole of concepts and principles and you're just going to get lost and bore the hell out of yourself when you're discussing it. But as a white belt and you're being taught techniques, just remember that jiu-jitsu is a long-term thing. It's for the rest of your life, ideally.
Yeah.
And so you're
it's
not...
more like a lifestyle.
Yeah, and you're not going to master the move of the day in the first time you see it, the first iteration you see it. So you need to learn to know what your lesson is for that. And being in a mixed room like ours, where we have ranges from white belts to brown belts, and you've got Steve, a black belt coach, who still probably learns from just teaching and seeing how everyone else is just messing up, is, where do we have to learn? There's going to be lessons that Ty has done, the brown belt, and he's probably done that lesson 4 times, at least. And what he's now picking up isn't the beginning parts of it, really, but he's picking up the refinement parts at the back.
Yeah.
And as white belts, we're still at the front. And we need to understand, do we know this bit?
Yeah.
Don't worry too much about the end bit. Get that generally in there as an idea, but focus on the beginning bits and learning the basics that we need to learn, the fundamentals, the movements, which, some people just miss out the movement, and it's like, the lesson for you is the movement. Because this is now a gateway into a lot more things down the line. And if you can start using that movement in your rolling, you're going to see where the options are. You're going to change the game for whoever's rolling against you as well, because all of a sudden you've added something totally unexpected into your game that they're not used to from you. So
even when it comes to rolling, I don't even try I don't even plan or try to submit the person. For me, as long as I escape and I do some sort of sweep, I'm like, yeah, I'm already happy.
That's it. And again, but that's the thing for white belts as well, is everyone loves to feel like they've accomplished something. So for your fine white belts, it's the stripes. Getting your stripes, great.
Yeah.
And getting the blue belt, fantastic. But
it's more like a bit like a motivation.
To
carry on going.
But what you also need then is, because it will be months between stripes. It's going to be years before you get your blue belt for the average player. What you need to then find is, what are these micro victories? What are these achievements that are small achievements that you're getting? So the small achievement could be, I'm going to be working on my scissor sweep. And then you just start hitting the scissor sweep and you're refining it. And then you're starting to catch it. And you might catch it occasionally on a blue belt. Or if you are getting really good at it, you might catch it occasionally on a purple belt. And it's like, yeah, I've got this down. And that's your victory. That's your motivation. These are the achievement points that you have. And it's getting these touch points of achievement in your game, especially within your own head and in your own development, is what's going to give you longevity and your survivability at white belt. To stay long enough to learn enough jiu-jitsu that you actually feel capable at it.
That's true. And plus, when you know how you measure, let's say, your progress.
Yeah.
It's the way I measure. It's not the
with a ruler.
What? It's not the way I get I learn something to do. But for example, if I learn to tough a person, and the amount of times I get submitted. Yeah.
Again, they're these micro victories that you're deciding to have. It's if you're rolling with a specific person who's a very hard roll.
Yeah.
And when you started, they could submit you at will. They're not even breaking a sweat. They've submitted you in a 4-minute round 10 times without an issue.
It's not to brag. My record was in 4 minutes rolling with Jaden 20 times. I got submitted.
I think that's the opposite of a brag. I got submitted 20 times. I don't mean to brag. Yeah, but it's that thing of, if that's where you started, but now where you're at is Jaden gets me 4 times in a round.
I know, yeah, that's what I mean.
That's a massive progression that you've done.
Yeah.
And these are, again, the micro victories, the micro achievements that you have in your own game and your own mindset, which is what's going to keep you coming, because you do need reward. People need reward. Humans are reward driven. We do something, we get a reward, it gives us a flood of our hormones that make us feel great. And that's what we're here for.
Sometimes when you want reward, it doesn't help. You know why? Yeah. It's like when I go do dishes and I go to my missus, where's my medal?
Yeah, that's how you get a slap or a divorce.
She's like, nope, you're not getting any medals.
One day she'll have a medal and she'll swing it at you by the ribbon and smack you on the head with it.
I know, yeah.
But it's just understanding these micro achievements is where you're gonna get. What else did we do on Tuesday?
On Tuesday we done.
It was more movement based again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the.
I kind of like it because it's like the more often we do that, I know it's like a basic stuff, but it's really good because you start controlling more your body into precision.
Yeah.
How to do that?
Well, it's to quote. I'm the king of quoting jiu-jitsu players who have know a lot more than me. Roger Gracie.
Yeah.
He said, advanced jiu-jitsu is just basic jiu-jitsu done really well.
Well, yeah.
And that's it. It's the more you get to practice the basics, the more you focus on the fundamentals, the stronger your game will be. You're setting yourself a really good foundation by practicing the basics. And sometimes it's easy to run away with the Instagram move of the week, where you're suddenly going for some crazy, flying triangle type stuff. But
I know, yeah. The flying triangle is like so good, especially when I've seen the Jaden's that on Ikigai when he done the flying triangle. I'm like,
it's your holy grail move, isn't it?
I know, yeah. It looks so good because the way, let's say, have you seen Tyrese?
Yeah.
Flying triangle. So the way he does, it looks a bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you do it like you're jumping down and your head is down, and so it's because you can get slammed. It's more dangerous.
Yeah.
The way Jaden does, it's more safer.
Yeah. I think the Thai one was against a standing opponent.
Yeah.
Whereas the Jaden one was against someone that was in seated guard.
And the one, and after that, where you done that bull meme is like, oh yeah, that's like.
Yeah, you are getting a crotch to the face. Just don't shout crotch when you jump in. But yeah, so there was that one, and that was when the day you learned how to not smile while doing jiu-jitsu with the.
Yeah, it's basically what shin on my
Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
and it was just to break your turtle up.
Yeah,
to be able to get that space for the hook in. And then Wednesday we did.
Wednesday, what we did on Wednesday? Damn it, I can't remember now.
I can't remember either. It'll be something no-gi anyway, won't it? So.
Yeah, there was something in no-gi. Yeah, definitely no-gi because Wednesday is no-gi. But usually, remember when Tyrese used to run
leg lock Wednesdays? Yeah.
It's like leg Wednesday. I used to call it limping Wednesday. No, limping Thursday, because every time after going to Wednesday session, it's not like even like you get submitted on the legs a lot. You just drill it, and then next day you're just limping to work.
Yeah, your legs just aren't being used to that.
Yeah.
One of the things I'd go back a bit, take a backward step to the Tuesday, the turtle break that Steve did with the knee on the Achilles, the shin on the Achilles. It kind of goes back to something we said in the last episode, where we're talking about errors at high level jiu-jitsu.
Right, yeah.
So at high level jiu-jitsu, I mentioned how it's less about knowing more than your opponent, because they all know the same thing pretty much, but it's about having the errors. So it's the first person that makes a mistake.
So the way Steve showed, it's more like forcing the person to do the mistake.
Yeah, so there's 2 types of errors that you're going to make. There's going to be a technical error where you just don't know enough jiu-jitsu, which is 99% of what our errors are going to be. But then that error that is there, it's pain compliance. It's a forced error.
Yeah.
So by adding enough pain to someone, they'll make the error. That gives you a position. Another one that Steve taught over the past few months was the Kimura. When you're going for the Kimura when you're mounted on the on the side.
Elbow on the side.
Yeah, elbow on the floating rib. And it's just that element of understanding where these errors are coming from.
Yeah.
And sometimes jiu-jitsu is a combat sport, and we have to be dirty and we have to use force.
I like that elbow. You go like,
Yeah. You just drill down the elbow into the floating rib, and you hear the person squeak, and then all of a sudden, do you now have a Kimura? It's like, well done. It's like, yeah.
And you nearly passed out because you've done too much elbow.
Yeah, it's just really just driving it in there. But it's that thing of not all errors are going to be technical errors. Sometimes you do have to force it.
Yeah.
And the technical errors can be in different ways. So it can just be knowing more jiu-jitsu than someone. It can be a bit of a, you making a mistake, your reaction to a move is slightly different. And that's where your technical errors are going to become.
Plus, when they show us technique, we all are like different build.
Yeah.
So the way you do it, you have to like sometimes to adjust. And we're not like flexible, like let's say like Mikey.
Yeah, we're not rubber boys, are we? We're made out of rubber and glue. But jiu-jitsu is expressed differently for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's jiu-jitsu is different, and it's based on your body type, based on your athleticism, and also your personality. You'll find the more aggressive and gregarious person who's quite confident will probably have the more standing, I'll bring the game to you aspect, and you'll get someone who might be a bit more cautious, a bit more thoughtful. They're going to be more of a bring the game to me and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't really like standing games.
No, it's I don't like being thrown to the ground.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm going to get there anyway, so I might as well start from the ground.
Well, yeah. Plus, you learned your lesson.
Yeah, the one time I tried to wrestle up, leg goes. It's like nope. But it's just everyone's jiu-jitsu is different.
Yeah,
and the culture of jiu-jitsu in the gym you learn though does actually transfer. There'll be, unless you're got a very different game than what your club has. It's you're going to find when you sometimes go to cross train, you'll find people go, do you train at such and such a place? Because I've had it before because our game's very pressure based with very traditional type of jiu-jitsu with a bit of catch wrestling in it, where it's that technical aspect of pinning limbs, controlling, and we're high on control and we're high on pressure in our club.
Yeah.
And I've gone to other clubs and I've rolled with people and I've used that style and they've come out and gone, you from Henshall's? Right. It's like a signature style that people recognise, and you'll find it from other places, like the rubber guard that Mikey plays.
Yeah,
that's the bread and butter of 10th Planet.
Yeah, but he's the only one who does it in our gym.
Liam's picking it up, and George Mott's picking it up a bit as well. But
yeah,
it's Mikey's main game, and it's 10th Planet, and it's like anyone would look at Mikey rolling and they would go 10th Planet. They wouldn't know it's Henshall's. Yeah. But it's just that's the style that works for him, and the great thing about our club is all styles kind of like get catered for because the basics are being taught very well, and the details being taught there, and the principles are being taught, which are then transferable to whatever style you have.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where you're going to get good coaching, where the coach can take a step back and go, right, what's working for everyone?
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the earlier point that we made, where it's knowing which lesson's for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a different style, a very unique niche style, and you're being taught something, if you can take that lesson that works for your style, massive leaps and bounds that you're going to get in your improvement.
Right.
So, anyway, I think we've hit the 45-minute mark. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That was a quick one. That. So, anyway, we're going to call it a day now.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We do appreciate it. If you want to like, subscribe, follow, and all that bollocks, that'd be great. And we'll see you next time on the Bad Jiu-Jitsu podcast.
Yeah, more shit gonna be coming out.
Yeah. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey,